Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the 21st Man, where we are redefining masculinity through our 4 pillars of modern manhood: integrity, community, entrepreneurialism, and mental health. So get ready. Even though it is a season finale, guess what? It's gonna be the best yet.
This is for this.
Get ready, because we have a lit show for you guys today. Stay tuned. Roll them up. Pow. Ow. Roll them up. Pow. Ow. All right, roll them up, roll them up. Coming up next is gonna be our roundtable table talks with Arminius. Talking money. Is it table talk? Yo, roll them up, roll them up. Coming up first is gonna be table talks. Oh man, table talks, right? Roll. Oh, that was stupid. That was too long. Boop. Roll them up, roll them up. Coming up first is gonna be Arminius talking money on our table talks.
Welcome to the Table Talk. Well, today of this episode, we'll be talking about money, image, and the pressure men feel from it. And this episode is sponsored by Audacious by Arminius, your custom formal wear wardrobe styling based out of Jacksonville, Florida. So we're going to kick things off about how we feel today as men in terms of physical image. What do we feel about wardrobe? What do we feel about how it makes us feel when we go out in today's society of what we're wearing on the outside, and what does that do for our self-esteem on the inside?
Sure thing, man. I'm excited.
Well, let's start by introducing ourselves, huh?
Yeah, why don't you go, man?
All right, hey, what's up,
You're the
everybody? My
co-host.
name is Luis Green.
Brandon Lampley.
Christian Telmas.
Matthew Wyman.
Arminius Patterson, the owner of Audacious by Arminius, custom formal wear.
Come on, look how fresh you look, too.
I know.
Come on,
Yeah.
dripping,
Dapper
bro.
done,
Toe,
man.
dapper.
Dapper done.
This is something slight, man, but we're going to dive right into it, man. Do you guys feel any pressure as men in today's society in terms of what you wear and how you wear it?
No, I'm gonna go first.
Go, yeah.
I don't think there's enough pressure. That's what I think. I think the men of our society
Looking
are
like sloppy
slacking.
joes.
Yes, I really do.
Yeah.
And my students, you can see it. They don't know how to tie ties. They don't know how to wear button-down shirts. They don't know how to dress for success. They don't know what shoes to wear, what colors coordinate. It's upsetting because I don't think there's, you look at old footage of people in the 1920s, 100 years ago,
yeah.
and they look so sharp.
They do.
You know what I'm saying? People in the 1950s that were in shirts and ties to work every day
Yeah.
took pride in their appearance. I don't see that these days. I don't know if you guys are seeing anything different, but
No, I agree with that completely, because and you're right. The way our culture is set up, it's all about what they see on TV anyway.
yeah.
From the hip hop look to certain fashion, certain styles. I mean, Kanye creates the craziest looking things I've ever seen
He looks homeless.
people wear. Like you do,
Homeless is
man.
fashionable, bro.
You
Right.
know?
I saw this guy begging for money. I was like, I know that guy's rich.
Yeah.
That's just fashion.
Right, and I think that you being I would say, you should be a chameleon today. So no matter what you wear, whether it's this suit or whether you just have on a t-shirt,
Right.
with some jean shorts or whatever,
Right.
always making it look good.
Right.
Just a lot of kids today, man, like they roll out the bed, throw something on, and out the
Yes.
door.
Comfortability
Yeah.
is where we're at today, especially with social distancing and the pandemic. Everybody's like, I can order whatever I want online. I'm gonna stay in my house all day. They're wearing the same gym shorts and t-shirt, flip flops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it also really. So I love style. I'm a huge fashion of style.
Do
Fashion.
you?
Don't look at the same way. You have pants on, bro. Party. What is it? Dress for success on
Yeah.
top and party on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like the news anchor. I don't even have shorts on. So, but honestly, I think one of the biggest things that there's differences, right? So there's people that are fashionable, and then there's people that are stylish, right? So those are two different things. Somebody can be fashionable and not fit any mold. They're setting trends. So like Kanye West,
Yeah.
he creates fashion, right?
Mhm.
That's things that not everybody wears. It's something that's starting. Hey, how do I start this
I think it's
and get that a movement?
Very
Yeah. So and then there's things that are timeless, right? So suit tie, timeless,
Right.
right? So and for us, what we have associated with success is a timeless piece.
Yes.
Right, so when you see a man suit and tie, right, especially when it's a brother, I'm gonna be honest. You can see a Mexican in a suit and tie, and no one's like, "Ooh, that's so cool." No, but you see, like honestly, a well-dressed black guy. Not gonna lie, like it looks. People associate that with a lot of success, you know, because of what it meant and what it means, really. So, I mean, I think that people aren't putting enough emphasis on it, but I think the people that do care about it, they still go to the line,
Right.
right? And I think it also matters on what you do. I mean,
I think it also. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, go.
I think you get judged based off what you wear, and I think it's important for people to understand that.
Yeah.
And we can bring a race factor into this if you want, but people judge you based off of what you wear and what you look like. And I think it's important if you want to be taken seriously and respected, you've got to take your appearance and your wardrobe into account. Absolutely. And if you don't have the money to do it, well then shit, everybody just knows you're broke. Nothing wrong with that. But you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
you got it.
And I mean, there's also, you got to think about like the quintiles, right? So that's like the economical status on where you're at. You get to a place where dressing really nice, honestly, it doesn't matter anymore. You get to the Elon Musks, right? You get to the owners of Facebook, you get to Jeff Bezos.
Gates dresses like a Walmart
Honestly,
shopper.
because
man.
at that point, the reality is this. You're no longer impressing anybody by your look because they already know who you are and where you're at. But there before, I think if Elon Musk was doing his first pitch, he probably had a suit and tie,
Right.
right? So people will always judge you by the way you look. And honestly, if I didn't know who Elon Musk was or Jeff Bezos and I just saw him on the street, I'd probably think he's nobody and I probably wouldn't pay attention.
Right.
You know, but people do associate how you dress with who you are and where you're going. For
So-
sure.
I say, with what I have on, I mean, this is my brand.
Yeah.
I created it, you know, with the whole theory concept. I at times like I wear suits. I like to wear suits and come out of my own. But I felt like when I created the brand that I have, you know, being that it's named theory and you create your own idea, it allows you to be comfortable in your own. Because that's what you do every day. Everybody look in their closet, they look and say, okay, what am I going to put on? What am I going to put together? But when you actually say, okay, this is my theory, I believe in what I am, it doesn't matter what anybody's going to say anyways. You just feel like, and then to go out and get a feedback and say, oh, that looks nice. And you put, it makes you, and builds up your self-esteem and say, okay, I did that.
Yeah.
Like you say, you start your own thing, your own fashion, your own way of fashion. So, and it helps you just create on your own. So, I mean, that's part of why I just created my brand and how I look at things and the way I do things now. So,
And that's impressive because you're trying to do that fashion statement like he had mentioned earlier.
right.
So socially, and then as an African American, piggybacking what you're saying, it's nothing like seeing a brother in a suit.
Yeah.
Socially, do you guys feel like, as African American, it's added pressure for you to present yourself in a certain manner? And A, if a police officer may stop you, or B, just on an everyday, would you rather be seen in a suit or would you rather be seen in a t-shirt and gym shorts? Are you concerned about how someone may perceive you or how you may be treated?
I'm going to say, like, I don't think so. I don't think so that much. It's just how you carry yourself and your character. It doesn't matter what you really put on. It's just how you respond, like when you speak, you know, because when you speak, it's so powerful.
But what if you don't get a chance to speak?
Oh, yeah.
So before you can say anything, they may have some preconceived notions by where your hair may be, or you know, if you have gold teeth or if you have tattoos, or
I think the preconceived notion starts before they even get out the car, right? So I used to have a Mustang Roush, fast Mustang, right? Typical white guy car, you know. But reality is when someone pulls me over in a Roush, they're already perceiving this guy's reckless, right? Just as soon as you get pulled over in a Charger or a Challenger, whatever it is, the preconceived notion starts by your car, right? And thereafter, people will associate. I mean, this can go into a topic about good cops, bad cops. I'm taking a good cop that does the right thing, the right time, right? Protocol. Sees a car, okay. He stands back, holds his gun, because, I mean, you don't know who's in there. Someone could shoot you. Right? Now you're looking at who's in the car. And I think the perceived notion is if they're dressed nice, businessmen, right? They're dressed more like you, I don't know what they're doing, right? Dressed like you, it starts, and that's just socially, that's just cultural. Like it's not about, I don't know if that would be a race thing necessarily. I think that it could be a racially charged conversation, which I think it's easy to get into that. But I like how you stood on that is, now the make it or break it comes is how are you going to speak, right? If I'm saying if all of the factors added up correctly and it wasn't any foul play, bad cop kind of thing.
Right.
Hey, can I see your license registration? Right? Then you kind of get into it and then that can go either way,
Yeah. It's 50-50.
Yeah, yeah, and like as far as pressure, as far as how it will look, I mean, it's depending on where I'm going. So like yesterday, I went to the doctor's office. I had on a graphic tee, some gym shorts, some Reeboks, and a fitted cap. So I didn't have any pressure in the doctor's office. It's a very nice place or whatever, and how they perceive me or anything like that. Now, fast forward to tonight. I know I'm going to be on camera. I know we're doing this show. So, I want to, kind of look different, look my best. I know if I come in here with gym shorts on and, raggedy
might get
tee, something
mad.
like that. And they're like, man, who's the raggedy dude on the panel talking? Who's that guy? Like, he has good words. He has good words, but I can't get over that shirt he has on. Like, something like that,
I think there's so many components and analytical aspects of a human who's, it all comes back to judgment, who's looking for things. Go back to the car reference, you're talking about police officers and whatnot. It depends on the car you're driving. It depends on what neighborhood you're in. It depends on how fast you're going. It depends on what they see when they look in the car. I think appearance has everything to do with everything. The way you talk as well.
Right.
I think it's so, our brains compute so quickly and are so analytical. Like you said, there's so many
Facets of
variances.
it, yeah.
Absolutely. So
Okay.
There's so many, man, I can go into another.
even,
I think we're going somewhere else.
yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
no, I live by a quote. You should dress how you want to be addressed.
I
And
like that. Yeah.
that's me pretty much 24/7. But we can wrap it up with this. So being that we're in the social media world, and sometimes if you don't have the self-esteem that you have, we kind of look towards certain people who have a huge platform or more followers. Do you guys feel any pressure when you look at certain explore pages or certain social media platforms and the way that person dressed? Do you try to mimic certain looks? Do you try to add certain pieces to your wardrobe to kind of get that look? But you may not have the finances to do it. But do you find yourself overspending on items just to get that look to kind of boost your self-esteem?
No, I've never been like that. I've never been I gotta have Gucci belt, Gucci flip flops, Gucci this and Louis Vuitton this or whatever. Like was it Ed Hardy T-shirts? Everybody was crazy about those.
Right.
Lacoste polos or $100. I've never been like that. I always like what looked good to me.
Right.
Now, as far as them, I never looked at them as far as what they wear and want to be that. But trying to get to where they are is kind of what I've been on. Like I talked to you, you talked earlier, and I said that enough men don't talk about it and they internalize it, but the pressure to perform. Period. Like we have a brotherhood, but you always compete with your brother, regardless. So a lot of men, you have those who drop out of the race. They don't want to compete anymore. They've given up on life. But I think competition is here because it makes you better. Absolutely. Iron sharpens iron. Right. I'm a sports guy. Like I told him, I said, does Jordan get better if Detroit doesn't bust him in the mouth 3 years in a row?
Right.
No, he doesn't.
Right.
He doesn't. He rests on his laurels. So competition is necessary.
Yeah.
Right. I say for me, I look at stuff and then I see like people follow trends and stuff like that. But I'm more different. So I take a little bit from what's reasonable to me that I feel comfortable with, but I still try to like put my own twist on things. But I don't want to be like I'm following somebody.
Yeah.
You can crucify me for this statement, but I really think it's important and imperative of who you follow on social media. Because
That is important, dude. That is important.
if you're following the wrong people, you're gonna, especially if you're young kids. I'm a teacher, so my young kids are following people who might not be perceived as leaders or with moral character in the community, things of that nature. And then you're following those actions, you're dressing how they dress, and then you're wondering why you're getting the same respect they're getting or lack of respect. Therefore, I think it's important. You're following people who are dressed for success. You're going to act like that. You're going to want to be that.
Yeah, I got to stop following Instagram models.
Yeah. I know, you came on that bikini, bro. But you know what? I'll say this, and I think we probably can start moving into it, but I'm going to piggyback off of what you're saying. It really depends on who you're following, too, because, I mean, there's a lot of successful people, right, that we can say financially have a lot of money, a lot of cash flow, right? So you have, like, the Grant Cardones, which suit and tie, that's his thing, right? Dress for success, dress to impress, dress how you want to be dressed,
Mhm.
right? And then you have like the Gary V's, who he's like, F it, I don't care, F you, F that, I don't care who sees me, I am who I am, and I'm not changing it. I own this, and that, right? So one dresses really nice, and the other one just doesn't care, right? But I think the reality is this: everybody cares. Everybody. I don't care the person who says I don't care. Everybody cares.
Yeah, that's a
if you're a
bullshit
country
lie.
person, you know how I know they care? Because they won't wear the skinny jeans I'm wearing,
Right.
right? They have their set of style, and that's what they identify with, and that's where it comes to identity. And I think the biggest thing, especially with Christian, you know, what he really does is he teaches students that, hey, this is how you can find your identity, and this is a safe place by dressing nice.
Absolutely.
You know?
Well, the last point I was going to make real quick is that as men, we have to be cognizant of the fact that we are role models to somebody in life.
Yes.
So they're looking at how we dress consistently.
Yes.
So don't be a schmuck.
Right.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because then the next future generation is going to look at you, no matter who it is, like son, daughter, whatever, and they're going to
Right.
emulate what you have.
So
Yeah.
so physical. And when I'm making a suit, a lot of people forget, like they look at me and they say, I want my suit to fit like yours, but the body type isn't really like me. So how important is it, as you say, iron sharpen iron, for us to continue to put out nutrition, working out, your physical physique
vital.
when we're talking about image?
Oh yeah, I think that's very important. I mean, that's why now I'm working on my physique now. You know,
Join the club, man.
I dropped like 40 pounds, dude, and I'm keeping it going because I know how important it is. I mean, it's not until I got older till I see the perception of whether you're a fit guy or you're out of shape guy, how people perceive you. Because believe it or not, people judge you based on those things. We judge people for very superficial reasons. Everybody tries to act holier than thou, but we address people on very superficial reasons. You know, like somebody who's taller might walk in a room and have more respect than a man who's shorter. Doesn't mean any better. No, it's just how people perceive it.
Right.
And I used to be the GM at the training department in for LA Fitness in Cali, and people would come, and their biggest thing is I feel like I'm being perceived a certain way, you know. So that was a lot of people's motivation to, you know, look better, get more fit. But really, it shouldn't be so much about I want people to perceive me better. I think when you really get down to the nitty gritty of it, is you are going to be better. Right? Like it's when you find real reasons, like for your kids or for, you know, for yourself and living longevity. Honestly, for me, it's just about not being tired.
Personal growth.
Yeah, it's just like honestly, like I want to eat healthy because I hate like the 2 o'clock or the noon drowsiness. So we all have our reasons, you know. But I think that's important. I think it's really important.
All right, man. Some good stuff, man. We covered the money, we covered the image, we covered pressure of men in this society, man. So this was the Table Talk, hosted by Audacious by Arminius, custom formal wear.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you, man.
All right, man theory. Do I need to say who introduced the people doing it? What's their names? All right, coming up next is Brandon with Man Theory, featuring your very own Brandon Lampley. Jason, that's what I meant. Jason featuring Brandon Lampley, okay. Bow. Brandon. Right there. All right, here we go.
Oh yeah, me and Jason, man.
All right, next, Man Theory with Jason featuring your very own Brandon Lampley. Roll them up.
Welcome to Man Theory, a new show on the 21st Men platform. Today's topic, we're talking about feminism and how it has affected modern dating.
Well, for starters, I just to give a disclaimer, feminism is not a bad thing, you know, in its purest form. In its purest form, feminism is simply women looking to have equal rights,
Right.
you know, with men. You know, they couldn't vote.
At least that's how it
They
started.
couldn't. Yeah, that's how it started. Monkey wrench got thrown in there,
Man.
and it's something we know now as feminaziism,
Yeah.
if you will.
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
Well, I believe that wholeheartedly, man, because it ended up, it stopped being about equality and started being about superiority. say probably about in the last 20 years or so. I mean, the indoctrination and the things they do, man, it's blatant at this point in front of our eyes. It's been about let's downplay the man and let's uplift the woman, which you don't have to do that. We can uplift women without you trying to downplay men.
Exactly.
Like, and the same thing, you don't have to uplift men again and to push women down. You don't have to do that. But that's an agenda and that's what they're pushing. And so it's caused a lot of, I would say, just take our community, for example, the Black community. I mean, it's a chasm between Black men and Black women. There's a gender cold war every day on the internet, man. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I don't like seeing that. I like to see us unify more. But getting back on the feminism thing, what it has done with the superiority complex is now for a man to be acceptable in a relationship to a woman, he almost has to worship her.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't do that, he is an inadequate partner in her eyes.
We could use one of the strong words, as Sam Tim likes to call them, simping. Simping. Matter of fact, it's no simp September. So fellas, stop simping all of September. You can get back to it the rest of the year, but this is no simp
Try
September.
to cut it completely.
Try to cut it off
can.
completely. Just like no fap November, no simp September.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. But dude, like what feminism has done, like it's taking women and they're achieving, they're becoming bosses. Black women love to tout about them being the most educated demographic in the country. And I'm proud of you, girl. Go girl, get your degrees, your doctorate, your lawyers and all that. But when it comes to dating, it doesn't matter. I don't care about your degree. You can have more degrees than a thermometer. I don't care. I don't care because I have my own. So I don't. That doesn't put you as far as on the dating market. The market determines your value. You don't determine your own value. The market does, and people who are interested does. And women tend to think with all these achievements, they lead with that, and that should make them, above other women in a man's eyes, and it just doesn't.
And here's the funny thing about the achievements piece that you mentioned. With the achievements and all the money that they make and stuff like that, for some reason, they still don't want to spend it.
Yeah.
In a relationship. They still want you to be the one to spend the money, even though they fought for the rights to make all of that money.
And dude, I tell young guys all the time, sex is also ran now. It's not special anymore. So a young girl giving up sex is not special. What's special is her spending her money and time on you. That's special.
Exactly.
Her hard-earned money that she spent, dude, she spends that on you. She really likes you.
Right, because she'll. let me not say it like that. My thought is that as sexually liberated as women are, by default, they're going to have more sex now today than they did 50 years ago. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that because I believe men are probably having more sex too. I'm not saying there's an issue with that. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying to piggyback off what you said, the sex isn't as special because there have been so many partners. It's been given out so much. So the effort, the energy and effort put in, will you take me on the date? Will you invest in me? Will you do any of these things for me?
Right. Like I'm like for me, when we talked about it, I'm off the dating market right now. So, and it's a personal journey, me working on myself. But I can't, even if, an opportunity arises, I'm not going to be like, oh, baby, let me take you out. Let me do this for you. Let me do that for you. No, the best relationships I've had is when she's invested first, not me being overt about my investing in her, because that's like you give a title, you give something to a child. You just give it to them. They do nothing to earn it. They usually don't respect those things. They don't take care of those things. Like you buy all these expensive things for your kids, which gifts and things like that. You usually tear them up because they didn't earn those things. They didn't spend their hard-earned money on those things, so they don't respect it. It's the same thing with giving away titles. You made this woman your wife or your girlfriend, and she's done nothing to earn that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They've come in with the mindset that I just have to show up because I have these breasts and this buttocks. Mm-hmm. I have these things, so because of that, I show up, I deserve everything that you're supposed to give me. I deserve these dates, these vacations, that ring. I deserve all of that just for being a woman. And I think feminism has, given them that mindset more than anything else.
Yeah, and I would say it's infected men too, because there's men who sit and complain that they don't get what they want on the market, but they're not doing the work. They're not putting in the effort. Hey, I wasn't getting the results I wanted. I'm starting to now, but I've started to put in the work. I've started to get on my path and my purpose. Fixing myself physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. I'm starting to see the change. You have to put in the work. And that goes both ways. You can't just show up and say, hey, here I am, give me cash and prizes. That's entitlement.
Well, the thing is, for men, we were never given, that opportunity to be able to just say, oh, I show up, I get what I want.
Yeah.
So
Always
that's never been, we've always had to put in work. So we have to so now that we're talking solutions, we have to put women in a position to be like, hey, if you're gonna have this high value man, if you're gonna have, access to a man of means and have him do things for you, take care of you and a family and all of this type of stuff, it's something that has to be earned. This is something that women dream about having their entire lives. So the men, I blame us for not putting them in a position to make them feel like they have to earn that, because there's a lot of value in that. And for them to feel like they just can show up and get it is really our fault.
Yeah, no, I agree. Now, I think one of the things too now, and they've shouted it from the mountaintops now, and the cover has been taken off of women, that mask that society has put on them, they're taking it off. They're saying, hey, we're human, we're flawed, we like to have sex, we like to do these things, we're not these angels that we're built up to be. And like, hey, men are like, cool. But what we found out was with a lot of guys is they have a separate standard for certain guys. So it's guys who they require you to take them out on dates, buy flowers, make overly sweeping romantic gestures and all those things. And then there's other guys who come over midnight and, do what he does, and he's off to the next woman and he doesn't even know the girl's last name. And he's invested absolutely nothing and he's gotten the best of her. And so guys see that and they're like, man, why can't I get that? And so guys sit and they complain instead of doing the work. Hey, you're not that guy. Accept it. It's just one of those things. Either you have it or you don't. And if you don't have it, work on it.
Yeah, you have to be a guy that can get what he wants from women without, coming to the door with flowers and all this type of stuff. I mean, women love gestures like that, but what they love first is masculinity.
Yeah.
They'll trade the flowers, the random gifts, and all that for a masculine man, even if they won't outwardly admit that, because a lot of them won't, but we know actions speak louder than words.
Oh, yeah. And look, remember, we was talking off camera and I was telling you, I said, yeah, those guys, which we call Pookies and Ray Rays or Chad and Tyrones or Jamals, they get the best of them, not have to put much effort in, but please believe a lot of them are not respected by those women.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
They look at them almost as a girlfriend, a homegirl. If you're too kowtowing, if you're too subservient, they'll just start to look at you as one of their female friends. And then this is why a lot of husbands get cheated on by the guys who are masculine.
Yeah. Oh man, Well, that right there, that can go into a whole nother show. But man, we got to wrap this up and come to the end of our time. Thank you for listening. This was Man Theory. I'm Brandon Lampley.
I'm Jason Scott.
Talk to you guys later.
Wait. I know you're sad once again, but we are done with tonight's show. But guess what? Before you leave.
You went out of frame.
Oh, way out of frame. Wait. I know you're sad. It's over. Once again, another wonderful night. But guess what? Please, before you go, like, share, subscribe. And guess what? Next. Wait. Before you go, please like, share, subscribe, and thank you. Super big thanks for joining us tonight at the 21st Man, where we are redefining masculinity. Love you guys. Luis Green and the 21st Man out.